What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 77, and we start today's episode off with some player training. And as you've seen throughout the course of the season, we've kept the drills pretty much the same really. All of our youth players are in the 60s now, apart from the boys in the academy, and therefore I've just kept Fagan with 3 drills and Tony with 2. And speaking of the academy, as we've now hit the 1st of March, you can take a look at our youngsters in the youth squad. Just 3 in there right now. It's pretty crazy, it's only 3 in there considering how stacked our academy used to be in previous seasons. We used to have to release players because there wasn't enough space. Now there's only 3, but all 3 look pretty decent, including that American Cam, Matthias. Looks very decent indeed. And look at our fixtures for March as well. As you can see, we're starting off with the big one. Manchester City at home in the FA Cup last 16 here at Bramall Lane. And with some more big fixtures to come, Brighton away on the weekend in a massive battle in the Premier League for 2 teams with an outside shot at European football, with the Seagulls in good form this year. The trip to Schalke a few days later on Thursday night at the Veltins Arena in the first leg of our Europa League round of 16 tie. Then the second leg a week after, sandwiched in between that, Huddersfield at home should be touchwood a banker, but of course 2 years ago we could only manage a draw in that fixture when Huddersfield of course set that new record for low points in the Premier League. And then Villa away at Villa Park, our final game of the month. It's a really busy and tough month, and to start off with the champions, Man City at home in the biggest fixture of them all, the FA Cup round of 16 tie. Well, this game here I felt was going to set the tone for the rest of the month. And 10 days ago we had this fixture in the Premier League. Man City came to Bramall Lane and they humiliated us. They beat us by 5 goals to 1, and we were totally destroyed by Pep Guardiola's side. In this game, I was not about to let the same scoreline be on the board come the full-time whistle. I felt as though we were probably going to lose the game, but we had to put up much more of a fight in this one. We started off really strong as well. Eze denied by a brilliant save by Edison early, and in the 25th minute, golden chance here that I totally got wrong. Jaden Bogle back from his injury, starting for the first time since that 2-month injury in the FA Cup third round. Could have gone through one-on-one, but I overcooked the touch and sadly ran straight into Edison. But in the 37th minute, Aymeric Laporte, what on earth were you doing? Alfredo Morelos robs the French centre-half, runs through one-on-one, and with the composure of Thierry Henry, he chips the goalkeeper, finds the back of the net, and Bramall Lane is rocking. It's 1-0, but answer on the postcard, why was Laporte so slow to react to the ball? He must not have seen Morelos behind him. It was like pantomime. No one was shouting, look behind you though, or he's behind you. Morelos runs in, robs the captain, runs through one-on-one, and what a signing Morelos has been this year. 1-0, Sheffield United, and with Tony on the bench, Alfredo had given us the lead and put us in front, and a few minutes later, once again, he's first to react, wins it back, plays the 1-2 of DCL, again he's in behind Laporte, can he finish again? Yes he can, drills it in, and just before the clock strikes the 45th minute, Alfredo Morelos with 2 goals in 7 makes it Sheffield United 2, Manchester City 0, and 10 days ago, pure humiliation. We were 3 goals down heading to the break, but this was a much more committed Sheffield United team. When going forward, we were first to every loose ball. When defending, you saw there, Wilfred Ndidi, brilliant block on Iñaki Williams, kept the score at 2-0. And at half-time, courtesy of that man, we were 45 minutes away from a massive scalp. I believe our first win against City in the entire series, as we were 2 goals up, and as things stand, heading through to the last 8 of the FA Cup. And 11 minutes after the restart, there were 2 golden chances for Man City to get back in the game, as we were holding on for dear life here. It was a really heavy spell of pressure in the opening 15 minutes. Good save initially by Henderson on Insigne, and then Nicholas Hall heads that corner just wide the post. But 11 minutes afterwards, still leading by 2, Ollie Shaw goes down left and dinks it into Jamal Lewis. Once again, Laporte is far too slow to react. Jamal runs through and smacks it in to the top corner. And in the game of all games, what a response from Sheffield United 10 days ago. Humiliation here in Yorkshire. Pep's side totally destroyed us, but this time it's our time to celebrate. And in that game you heard the sacked in the morning chants from the away fans. Well, let's just say they were a little bit quieter in this game tonight. 3-0 Sheffield United, and that was how the game would finish. What a game, what a win. Definitely one of our best wins of the series, no doubt about it. Just an efficient performance from first minute to last. We really stepped it up in this one. Massive victory, and that man Morelos with a brace in the first half. He has been absolutely, oh dear, superb since coming in from Porto in the summer. And when we spent £28 million on him to bring the Colombian in, I said it when we signed him, that's a gamble. You know, this guy has not played in the Premier League before. It's a gamble to put him on the high salary. 28 million, second most expensive signing in club history. Well, let's just say the gamble has paid off. He's been absolutely brilliant, and he was superb in that game as well. Ivan Toney sat on the bench for the entire game as Alfredo Morelos got 2 goals in a big victory. So following that, as you can see, we reached the FA Cup quarterfinals. The draw was made, and we'll be taking on in the last day of the FA Cup Leicester City away at the King Power Stadium. Brendan Rodgers' side. If you remember, back in Season 1, we experienced heartbreak in the FA Cup last 16 against the Foxes when they beat us late on by a scoreline of 2-1. Well, we've got them again, and that game will be played sandwiched in between the Schalke games as the Huddersfield game gets rescheduled for next month. So, yeah, absolutely buzzing, man. What a win against City. And you remember when a draw was made, I was like, for fuck's sake, that's us out. We're not making it through that. City will come and destroy us. No chance we've got beaten Pep's boys there. But that performance there, I was not expecting it. But really, that was a battle of who wanted it more. And we just wanted revenge after that humiliating 5-1 defeat. I said in the pre-match team talk to lads in the dressing room, lads. 10 days ago, forget about it. 5-1, forget about it. Just forget about that game. It's a totally different game. This is cup football. It's knockout football. Go out there and play your game. We'll win this one. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I believed in the team, and they did it for us. Massive victory. And Leicester City in the last day at the King Power Stadium. Again, Season 1, cup heartbreak against the Foxes. Is it going to happen again? Are we going to see deja vu again? Well, we'll find out in the very next episode. Still, second game of the 3 today, and it's now Brighton away from home at the Amex Stadium. And right now, Brighton, as you can see, just a couple of points behind us in the Premier League table right now, as they've got an outside shot at European football. But for us, still chasing Spurs in 4th place. If we're going to make the Champions League, I've said it, between now and the end of the season, we have to be inch perfect and win every single game. That's the only way we are going to qualify for the Champions League next season and finish in the top 4. So taking on Brighton, massive game for both sides here with an outside shot at European football. We started the game off really strong, and with Toney back in the starting 11 after being on the bench on Wednesday night for the game against City, coming into this one, I said, Ivan, mate, I'm giving you a chance here. You best not let me down. We started off strong. We got a few attempts on goal, but all of them were being blocked until the 34th minute, where the shocker, who I gave the chance, had to come and celebrate with me for giving him the opportunity to start the game. He tells the lads to come over as well. A little hug from the shocker there as we go a goal up with 10 minutes to go. Lovely through ball by Jamal Lewis, I'll be honest here, was running the show in this game. He was having a brilliant first half. He got the assist for our first and the hockey assist for our second. 2 goals in 5 minutes as the Blaze doubled the lead against the Seagulls. Lovely through ball by Toney. Great ball into Morelos, and the Colombian did the rest with his 3rd goal in 2 games. Alfredo is on fire right now as he doubles the scoreline and makes it 2-0. And at the other end, as Brighton almost half deficit right before the break, what a reactionary save by Dean Henderson. He's been under fire this season for Dean for quite a few poor performances. That's a fantastic save as he kept us 2 goals up heading into the break. So 2-0 Sheffield United. 45 minutes away from yet another victory, 4 on the trot, and a big win here. But 5 minutes after the restart, Brighton would get back in the game. Domenico Berardi with a superb strike halves the deficit as Brighton had began the second half off at a frenetic pace, and we were really struggling. We were shaky out there on the south coast. The nerves were getting to us. We were making individual errors, and they almost battled back from 2 goals down to level it 11 minutes after the restart. And had it not been for Dean making a good stop on the 1-on-1, they would have done so go. 2-1. We were really up against it in the second half, and we needed to restore our 2-goal cushion and settle the nerves. We should have done so as well. McBurney from 4 yards out had the goal gaping and somehow headed this Kyle Walker cross over the bar as we still led by 1. There were a lot of anxious faces in the away end at this point. We were struggling really to hold our composure, giving the ball away, but with 15 minutes to go, the hero for us in this game, not Ivan Toney, not Alfredo Morelos, it's Jamal Lewis. What a performance from our number 12. The left back turned centre mid, had an absolute stormer in this game. He got an assist, a hockey assist, and now a goal to wrap up the points as well. 15 minutes to go. He settles the nerves and ensures those 3 points will be back on the train with us heading back to Yorkshire. 3-1 the final score. We hold on to the victory, but my word, it could have gone south in that second half. Brighton started the second half off so well. We were struggling mightily after they got themselves back in the game, but Jamal Lewis, what a performance as he shares the champagne with Ivan Toney. And it's funny, but ever since we brought in David Turnbull, Jamal Lewis has been playing much better, and I wonder whether that's because he's been fearing getting replaced as part of our midfield quad. Funny that, you know, some players, when they fear getting replaced by a player that comes in, they start to struggle and they start to feel the pressure, but Jamal Lewis has played up to the pressure and he's been putting in much better performances of late. Great game against City, better game there. Big win for the Blades, and we keep the pressure on Spurs and Chelsea. And as we cut the gap to 11 points, we're still in the race, but with 9 games to go, Spurs do have a game in hand. If they win that, they'll put the lead back up to 14 points. I don't know if we're going to do it, man. I mean, I've said it before and I've said it again. We're going to have to be perfect if we are to make the top 4. We're going to have to rely on Spurs and Chelsea slipping up. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll push them every step of the way. We'll continue to believe. And let's just hope, touch wood, we'll be able to celebrate Champions League football at Bramall Lane next season. We'll be doing our bit. That's all we can do. Anyway, third and final game of today's episode, as we would take on Schalke away at Gelsenkirchen in the first leg of our Europa League round of 16 tie. And it's almost like there's been 3 judgment days in today's episode. The big FA Cup round of 16 tie against Man City. Then the big game against Brighton in the Premier League, and now Schalke away in the first leg of the round of 16. Sort of 3 judgment days today, and after winning the first 2, travelling away to Germany, feeling quite confident after a run of 5 successive wins. Well, we got off to a terrible start. 13 minutes into the game, Andre Gomes, oh my goodness, pick that one out, he says to Dean Henderson, the former Everton midfielder, with a stunning strike. Puts the Germans in front. It's 1-0 early on, and 10 minutes later, he was at the heart of everything. Double step over, sends McKenna walking, rolls it through, and Yusuf Poulsen makes it 2. 24 minutes in, it was all going so well and according to plan, but inside the first half an hour, we were 2 goals down at the Veltins Arena, and Schalke were saying, you were the big boys now in Europe, but you're not good enough to take us down. 2-0 to Schalke, and we were all at sea inside the opening 25 minutes. So terrible start to the game, and right from kickoff I was like, fuck this, man. If we lose this game and don't score an away goal, Schalke will probably score at Bramall Lane. That'll be us heading out, man. There's no way we're making it through, so we need someone to step up out there and get us back into the game, and bang, right from kickoff we get it. Who's the guy that got it? DCL with the finish. Wonderful dribbling from Calvert-Lewin there as he turns Nathan Ake inside out and drills it into the bottom corner for his first goal in the Europa League. That's Dominic's first goal in this competition. All of his goals have come domestically. It wasn't Nathan Ake, sorry, it was the other guy, number 3. But a great finish regardless after the lovely dribbling there. That's his first goal in Europe though. Hadn't scored before that, but gets one here to make it 2-1.5 deficit instantly. And right from that, we had another golden chance. Morelos turns Ake in off the crossbar from Alfredo. What a goal that would have been for the Europa League top scorer off the wood. But we were woken up though from that second goal. We were starting to attack, look much better, and in the 32nd minute, he's done it once again. You can't stop this man. The Colombian Morelos with another goal in the competition makes it Schalke 2, Sheffield United 2, and what a response from the Blades. 2 goals down, 24 minutes in danger of total humiliation at the Veltins Arena. What a response from our youngsters. 2-2, and in the 37th minute, Calvert-Lewin, oh yes, chips it to Morelos to make it 3-2. And in the space of 12 minutes, Sheffield United had gone from 2 goals down to lead at the Veltins Arena, and it was the boys up top that had done it for us. DCL and Alfredo Morelos. This was fantastic by Calvert-Lewin. Sees Morelos running to the far post. He says, Alfredo, I noticed your run. I'll pick you out. Was the ball going in? Did Morelos pinch that goal away from DCL? Not entirely sure, but I think Dominic can forgive him considering the fact he's going for that golden boot. 3-2, Sheffield United. What a turnaround from our young blades, and we weren't done there. Stoppage time in the first half. Oh, with Brecci, talk about team player, rolls it through, and there it is, a first half hat-trick from Alfredo Morelos. It was such a big gamble to bring this guy in for £28 million. Say it again, Doxy boy. How much was it? £28 million. Second most expensive signing in club history. Well, I'll tell you this right now. 12 goals in the Europa League. Golden Boot race leader. 3 goals in 45 minutes when we were 2 goals down to make it 4-2. Let's just say the gamble's paid off. 4-2, 6 goals in 45 minutes at the Veltins Arena, and in the 73rd minute he comes off the bench to secure the victory in style. Zlatan's regen with his 2nd goal since signing for the club, on for the Colombian, runs through one-on-one, takes it round the covering defender playing catch-up and finesses it past the goalkeeper into the far corner. Schalke 2, Sheffield United 5, and in 3 Judgement days, talk about answering the call. A big win against City, 3-0, one of our best wins of the series, beating Brighton and holding on despite the shaky starts of the second half in a big battle in the Premier League for an outside shot at European football, and then the Europa League round of 16 first leg. 2 goals down in 24 minutes, we win the game by 5 goals to 2. We certainly came of age today. What a fantastic trio of victories as we continue to fight on all 3 fronts. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.